anywhere on earth, but you right here with me. Rocking with Jada J. Watch the movement. Don't judge my life. LC. Jada J.
It is what it is. Y'all rocking with me or not. So
Watch the movement. Hey, young world. Hey, coach. What's goody, my guy? Mid-major mindset. Jada J in the building. Hey, Coach P.
What's going on? What's going on? New time, trying something different. I like it, though. I like it.
Ooh, let's get them on all platforms. Let's get them on all. Come on, coach. Let's get them early in the morning because we got them.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. I'm blessed to be employed at a Jewish institution, and today is a Jewish holiday. I'm not going to try to pronounce it in front of this microphone, but we're just going to acknowledge the Jewish folks and say, enjoy your holiday. And I'm enjoying the day off.
Ooh, have fun, y'all. I wish I knew some Jewish I could spit out there in the world. I don't though. Some Hebrew.
Shabbat shalom.
Hey, that right there. Yep.
I know how to say, nah, it's too late for that, sweetheart. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean that was pertaining to
To the yep. I already know. Yep.
Yeah,
Too late, baby girl.
yeah, no. But yeah, I know how to say like, "How are you doing, Madi Shma?" I learned that while I was in Israel, and then your response to that be like "copacetic." That means like, I'm good. Almost sound like copacetic.
I just said in my head, I'm copacetic, bro. I'm good. Is that
Yeah.
a derivative of that?
I
Don't judge
mean,
my list at this point,
Hebrew's
coach.
older than English, so it could be. I don't know. It could be. Hebrew's a lot older than English.
While we here, Coach Mid-Major Mindset, welcome to episode, I forgot, lost count, but we here, guys. We got a whole rundown. Coach been putting in the work behind the scenes to bless the people and bring us a whole new movement on this Mid-Major Mindset wave. So I'm going to let you take the lead, Coach.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is just another platform. I thought, hey, we got a chance to do something different. Let's try to do something different. So we're gonna do a little morning time situation. So we're gonna start with the weather. I'm located in Germantown, Maryland right now, where the temperature is about 70 something degrees. The high today will be 73. Tomorrow though will be in the 80s. It'll be sunny. It will be in the 80s. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. In Georgia, where I'm from, you're looking at a high today of 83. No rain, sunny, beautiful day. Back home in Georgia. Tomorrow, you guys will have a high of 86, and it'll be 35% chance of rain. And on the beautiful island of Puerto Rico, right now it's about 80 degrees. Their high is 91. Tomorrow, like most days, it'll be sunny with a high of 87, 40% chance of rain, but it rains every day in Puerto Rico. It'll dry up really quick. You want to give a weather update on those cities that mean something to you right now, J to J?
Oh, Jersey. You already know where I'm going. Jersey, one, I don't appreciate the fact that y'all rained on Beyonce's head all Carter tour. I don't appreciate that shit. Y'all rained on Roomy and Blue. I don't appreciate it. But Jersey, today we rocking in at 72 at a high, coming in at 50. Y'all, I ain't do the other 2 days, y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Me and Coach 2 different people. Paris, France, because I give a fuck about Paris and I gotta go. I'm sorry I can't curse.
Hey,
I
you gotta
can't.
watch it. Different
I
crowd
on
in
this
the
monster
morning.
stuff.
Different
New crowd.
crowd. My mama might be watching.
Mom Dukes, my bad, boo. I'm gonna apologize because I heard my granny from heaven say, "Watch your mouth, Jay. Watch your mouth, Jay." All right, y'all. Paris, France, we coming in at a high. It's already nighttime over there. 71. So y'all had a pretty cool spring in Paris. Is amazing. Loved it. Low at 57. Tokyo, bucket list. 76 degrees. Low at 59. I'm trying to be there. We need some Tokyo fans for us to go on the tour. Come on.
Absolutely. And my daughter was at that concert. She was up there. And she still had a blast. She said Beyonce still had a good show. She got to see the Blue and what's the other baby name?
Roomy's my
Rumi.
favorite. Like Shiloh's my favorite. Shiloh
Rumi.
Sanders my favorite. And Roomy Carter is my favorite.
Okay. You know, my daughter's name is Carter, and her and Rumi have the same birthday. So that was pretty,
Oh,
yeah, she loves Rumi too. She loved Beyonce. She came out the womb singing Beyonce. I blame her
I
mama.
love that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, let's get moving. I stuttered like I'm sorry. NBA action. We had game one of the finals. Tips off Thursday, June 5th, excuse me, at 8:30. You got Tyrese Halliburton, who the players voted the most overrated star, um, going up against SGA, the front runner right now for the next face of the league, the Western Conference Finals MVP, the regular season MVP, and I mean, I don't think it's far off to say that he could possibly be or will be the Finals MVP.
I like what SGA is doing. We're speaking SGA, right? I like what SGA is doing over there. Um, don't judge me, coach, because I don't be knowing don't judge me. I don't be knowing what's going on the men's side all the time. I'm sexist. Don't judge me, y'all. I'm trying to come up back. I'm trying to be a men's fan. So SGA for me was been more on the front this year. I feel like this year has been the first time I really, really noticed his name or noticed who he was. Like, and there's no shade of his talent. It's just me not being tapped in and being all the way on the women's side. But like, I kind of like who he is. Like, I like the leadership he's bringing. I like the consistency he's bringing. I like his mindset. I like what he's showing up and doing over here. And he's surrounded by Mad Young is over there at OKC. So I, I don't Halliburton just I don't know. Let me keep my we it's a different time. I'm gonna keep my mm.
I mean, you silly. Um, well, he's been climbing, right? He's still really young. I mean, he's 23 years old. He's still very young. He got traded to OKC for Paul George. So, you know, he's only been there for a few years, but last year he really kind of put himself. He took a step up and put himself in a different plateau of players in the league. And yeah, he's definitely, like I said, the future. I think he's the front runner for the next face of the league. Once LeBron hangs it up, and if Steph can get another championship, he might be able to hold it for a couple years. But I do think SGA will be the next face of the league. But this matchup, I mean, you have uh, Indiana, who's a very efficient offensive team, playing a very defensive-minded team that can also score the ball. OKC has Lou Dort, who was first team All Defense, and Jalen Williams, who was second team All Defense. And then you also have Chet protecting the rim. And I got to get better at saying my guy's name, Harrelstein or Hegerstein, whatever. I know he's a black German. He's a Blurgeon, so I like him. But I can't say his name correctly. But OKC is a very defensive-minded team, and it's not that Indiana can't play defense because you have Pascal Siakam and you have Miles Turner, who are great defenders. Naismith and what's the other kid? Nemrod. Nemhard, I think him. I'm sorry if I forgot your name wrong. It's early in the morning for me because I don't have the day off. I have no reason to be up right now. But two really good teams. I do think OKC is going to win it. But before we get off of this and move on to WNBA talk, I want to talk about Pascal Siakam and winning the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And it appeared that Tyrese Halliburton was walking towards the podium when they said Pascal Siakam was the Eastern Conference MVP. I don't know why this guy always is just kind of the butt of the joke, but he's a really good basketball player in Halliburton. But Siakam definitely deserved. Somebody asked me earlier in the week if I thought that Halliburton got snubbed, and my response to that is absolutely not. Pascal Siakam was the better performer throughout that series. And you can't be a finals, Eastern Conference Finals, a regular season. And you can't be an MVP of something, especially of a series, when you have a game when you only score 8 points as a guy who's supposed to be a scorer, right? Like, so that to
Full
me, no,
back.
I don't think that Pascal or that Halliburton got snubbed for the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Siakam should have got it. I think his lowest, and we're just talking about points, and I'm talking about all the other things that he does on the floor, but just scoring, right? Like, I think his lowest output was 15 points in that one game where the game Halliburton had 8, he had 15. But I think it was 17, 39, 17. Then he had, 15 in that one game, 31, and then he had, yeah, so like he deserved the finals MVP, definitely did. Um, yeah, let's get into WNBA action.
WNBA, pew 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 pew. Just niche, can I use your sound effects? Just niche, can I use your? I'm gonna ask you, sis. Can I use? Because I prefer her. Just pew 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 pew. Anyway, going on to WNBA action, coach. I'm excited because Commissioner Cup has started. Yesterday, I believe, was the first round of it, and you've been saying this. The two returning champion or coach or semi running ups, they have set themselves apart. New York Liberty did what they were supposed to do yesterday against Connecticut Suns. It was 100-52.
Mm,
They come on, like everybody on the New York roster scored. Of course, Sabrina had double figures, JJ had doubles, Bree had doubles. Like everybody tapped in. Cloud has been doing her thing. She's really coming into herself there, and she's such a good personality for New York City. New York, they're you said it. I was like, yo, they're looking like a championship team. You like, duh, because they're championship, they're championship team. Like,
absolutely.
yeah, I'm really really happy for the New York Liberty, especially a little history going back. If anybody were W fans from the beginning, yo, we could never win. We meaning the New York Liberty. I'm a Jersey girl, so we used to catch the train to New York Liberty. We were on the floor to get the balls from pause from the WNBA players passing the torch. Pause from the WNBA players passing the torch to us while I was in high school. So um yo, New York, we could not get over the hump for of course for 4 years because Connecticut, I mean not Connecticut, duh, Houston, Houston Commons big three, we just couldn't win. So now I feel like we are on maybe a dynasty run for the New York Liberty.
Mm,
However, we do have the Minnesota Lynx that are on their body yaddy 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 because Minnesota definitely won last night against the new expansion team, 86-75. Nafisa went off. She went ham as she does for a double. She out here doing what champions do. Courtney got busy as she does. Shout out to Diamond Miller. I'm gonna always shout you out. Says, hey boo. I don't think she got playing time last night, but it's okay. Diamond, you still in there, boo. You still rocking. You keep your head up, boo. And when your time come, you always show up. And always show up, sis. We always gonna keep rooting for you. Moving on, one of my favorite teams right now, Las Vegas Aces won last night against the Storm. That was a really, really good game. I caught like the fourth quarter. It's they won 75-70. Asia did what she does as she does. Gabby Williams turned up for the Storm. However, I believe there was a young lady Wheeler who was going ham and was making it really really hard. Like she was getting busy with the Aces real quick and like quickly back to back to bring them back into like some type of playing and some type of on the edge of getting there to win. So shout out to Seattle Storm. The WNBA is kicking up right now. I am very excited. The Mercury do what they do. They 5-2. Dream of 5-2. Aces 4-2. So we it's the WNBA. It's Commissioner's Cup. It's going to be competitive because I believe the NBA is also doing Commissioner Cup right now, but well not right now, but now incorporating
sure.
into the league. So now there's an extra incentive for these players to go harder. There's an extra reason for them to want to play and get down. So if you aren't a WNBA fan, maybe right now during the Commissioners Cup, you might see some of the best basketball you will see in the WNBA, and hopefully you'll become a fan.
Absolutely. I remember those cups when we were in Europe. They're a little different, right? Because the cup in Europe is a chance for all the teams in the division, different leagues, and the chance that, to go out to get their opportunity to play the bigger teams, right? Like the Premier League teams. And those used to be fun because you would always. I was lucky enough to always be on one of the bigger teams as far as playing the second or third division, and you would always get a game where those guys would really, really fight, because it's their opportunity, right, to make a name for themselves. So the Cup games are always, pretty special. But before we move off the WNBA, let's kind of talk about how the standings are are forming, right? As you like you mentioned, New York and Minnesota are kind of on a different tier right now. They're both undefeated, 7-0. We need to find out when they play each other because that would be a big one if they both can remain undefeated, right? And
Facts.
then on that second tier, all right, like we talked about, you have the Mercury, who are surprisingly 5-2. The Dream, another team that you might say nobody really was expecting to be in this position, which they're also 5-2. And then you have the Aces, who are a championship. They're known to be a championship caliber organization. Right there on the cusp. Again, they're in that second tier at 4-2. And then you have your Seattles and your Mystics that are like, one game under 500. So it is shaping up to be really exciting. Because just because these two teams take off doesn't guarantee them a championship, even though it does look like right now they're playing better than anybody else. But injuries happen. To win a championship, like all the stars have to line up, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out, and who will be there when the playoffs come around.
100%.
Absolutely. It is that time of year. Not a huge baseball fan, but a lot of my people are. So I want to just do a quick MLB rundown of the weekend. Uh, the Red Sox traveled to Atlanta and defeated the Braves. Not really happy about that, so we're going to say that really quick. The Orioles defeated the White Sox. Philadelphia Phillies took out the Milwaukee Brewers. The Toronto Blue Jays took out the Oakland A's. I remember those Oakland A's hats, man. I wear an Atlanta hat now, but before I moved to Atlanta, I used to love that Oakland A's hat. That green and yellow is tough. The Cleveland Guardians, that's still a team I'm getting used to talking about because that used to be the Cleveland Indians, but they cleaned that up now, and that's the Cleveland Guardians. They took out the Los Angeles Angels, who I think are on the move, if I'm not mistaken. I think there was some talk about them leaving Anaheim. The Detroit Tigers defeated the Kansas City Royals. The Nationals, home team where I live at right now, took out the Arizona Diamondbacks. The New York Mets defeated the Colorado Rockies. The San Diego Padres defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates. I like baseball, but the season is way too long. 162 games is too much for me. But when the weather starts to get cold, baseball gets really exciting. Playoff baseball is some of the most intense stuff that you can watch because everything hangs on one pitch. Every pitch matters, right? When you're talking about high level baseball in October and before that, when the playoffs start, I mean, toward the end of the season, baseball gets really exciting for me.
I'm not gonna hold you, coach. My granny, she's from the south. So, and the guys, I live in a van. That's my computer. I need a fan. Don't judge me. Anyway, my granny grew up. So I grew up in a house with my granny, and she always watched baseball. Like I
Mm,
played baseball with my brothers. But baseball was boring to watch. However, my freshman year at Fordham, it was the Yankees and the Red Sox, and that shit had the
mhm.
campus rocking. That shit had the Bronx rocking. That shit made me a damn Yankee fan in real life. Like that shit had that it was I'm sorry, coach, I'm cursing.
Watch the
I gotta
language.
hold on.
This is a new challenge for us. Those of you that know me know that I curse like a sailor, and clearly you can see that Jada J does
I
too. So don't
do.
judge us like she's no famous for saying. We're working on it. We're gonna
I
get it cleaned
am.
up. Right? We want this to be a breakfast type show. We want you to be able to listen to this while you're at work or while you riding to work. So we gonna work on it. Keep going, Jada. Jada, you good? You
Right.
good?
My bad, y'all. And that's I learned. I ain't gonna hold you. I went to Ireland when I played that 1 year in Ireland. I got a potty mouth. I came back learning how to curse and drink when I came back from
Mhm.
Ireland. I'm not gonna lie to you. But
Beautiful.
that's what helped me. That series that my freshman year, it was such an impression on me of baseball. So you ain't lying about them October, them playoff runs, yo.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one of the more intense series in baseball in general. You can get a good regular season game from those two teams, from Boston and New York. That series right there, no matter if it's playoffs or regular season, is pretty good. It's pretty good. Yes, ma'am. Um, give me 1 second. I'm gonna plug in this one cord that I did not plug in this morning. Again, we still getting better at this, y'all. Grow with us.
Yeah,
There
rock
we
with
go.
us, y'all. Don't judge our lives. Just
Absolutely.
roll with us, rock with us. We here.
Right. Let's get into a little college basketball again. We got a long way to go till college basketball starts, but um, the transfer portal makes basketball, college basketball now, and a year-round sport, just like professional sports. Again, I don't think college sports are any longer amateur, um, but the impact of the NIL on the 2025 NBA draft. This is something they're talking a lot about. They're saying that the talent in this year's draft, the talent pool is not that deep, that it's kind of shallow. Um, because guys are no longer pressed to leave school to go to the NBA based off of financial reasons, right? Guys are in college making a couple mil. I could speak from personal experience that if I was getting NIL money, me leaving school early as a junior, there would have been no need for that. But due to my situation, I had to leave. I had to start making some money to support the little young family that I was creating. So I think this is something again that is great for the college athlete that you don't have to. That money now is kind of not the key factor in whether you're deciding to end your college, uh, or not end because you leave school doesn't mean that you don't graduate, right? But just ending it doesn't, you don't have to. That is not a big impact on the decision. What do you feel about that?
Instantly, I had a thought. We're gonna have a lot more little brown kids, brown athletes walking around with degrees now, because it's the incentive to stay is a lot stronger.
All right.
So I'm happy about that. We're gonna have a lot more kids that have actual degrees that's coming out. That the pressure of life that some of our other counterparts don't have to deal with. The pressure of life didn't have to push them out to go have to make money before
Mhm.
they were able to obtain the degree. So I'm
Right.
I'm I'm for the movement. I'm for the movement. I pay them kids. I'm gonna keep saying it because we should have got paid and we still should be getting pay them kids.
For sure, they got to keep paying those kids. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I think Now don't get me wrong. If you're being projected to be the number one, number two, even number three pick, I think it should be a foregone conclusion that you go ahead and you make that move. But yeah, I don't think now that you have to be necessary. I think after the lottery, guys are going to be 24, 25 getting drafted here in the next few years. And I think for professional sports, I think it makes it better, especially basketball, because basketball is a prima donna sport, right? Especially on the men's side, right? Because your face is always seen when you're working. This is something that I learned between football, playing football and basketball, is that at basketball, everybody knew that I was that guy, all right? Because they come to the game, they see my face, they see what I do. But I realized that in football, a lot of people didn't even realize that I was that wide receiver that was out there making all those catches because they couldn't see my face, right? It took some people a while, even kids that went to school with me, to realize that, damn, Jared played football too. And I'm all county, was a pretty decent football player. Wasn't NFL level. I didn't love it like that. But so I think it's good because now you're going to have guys in this limelight that one have been there before, right? In college, they're getting all this money. They have money in college, right? They're mature, a little bit more mature, so they're not going to fall for the same things that a 19-year-old millionaire would fall for. You know what I mean? So I think it's a great thing all around. I think the one that it hurts the most is the high school kid, and the high school kid that just has to figure out the way to navigate it, right? It's a different journey. It's no longer 4 years of high school and I'm going to college. No, some of you gonna have to go to prep school for a year. Some of you gonna have to go to prep school for 2 years, and then you might have to go to JUCO after that. Then you might have to that Division 1 offer that you wanted, it might not be there. You might have to go to a small Division 1, right? And then work your way up. This is just the nature of the beast. But I don't think anyone is actually hurt by it. I think it buys the younger kid time to really develop. Um, because I think what AAU basketball, and let's not call it AAU, what high school basketball, what this whole process has become, it's become like American Idol, right? And what happens is some of these kids for 4 years go out and play in these tournaments and they in front of coaches and scouts, and recruits and stuff like that, recruiters, and you have a bad singer auditioning year after year after year, compared to just getting in the studio, working on your craft, getting better, and then when you're ready, being presented in that light. But nobody looks at it like that. Everybody just wants the attention and everything now, you know.
And that contributes to the whole social media.
For sure.
Everything's touchable. Everything's in reach right now, right now, right now.
For sure.
And then we already had that conversation before, like how there's more depression now, how there's more anxiety to perform and to get and to be a star on social media and an athlete. And it's a lot for these young kids. So they are going through a lot. So yeah, definitely pay the kids, NIL, run the bags. Thank you, NCAA.
On the men's side, too early to call it picks. We'll call it, yeah, it's too early to call the rankings for next year, but let's start talking about it. In the early season rankings, they have Texas Tech based off of guys that are coming back, transfer, all of that stuff, transfer portal, all of that. They have Texas Tech at number 10, Kentucky at 9, the Michigan Wolverines at 8, the Louisville Cardinal at 7, the Cougars of BYU at 6. I can't think about St. John's, and I can't say St. John's or anything without mentioning Felipe Lopez, um, Dominican Republic's finest, the Dominican Jordan. He had every Latino kid wanting to go to St. John's back in the day. So definitely got to shout out Felipe Lopez, man.
I watched
Uh,
that documentary, that 30 for 30. That was dope as hell.
Felipe was that dude. You know, my grandfather lived in Queens. He lived right over there in Corona, Queens. So Felipe was that. Yeah, Felipe was that dude. My first time with the national team, I played against him. I ain't gonna talk about what I did to him, but I played against him. But it was great.
Nah, coach, talk your talk, coach. Sorry. I'm
Nah,
sorry, Felipe.
I'd have to, when we get to the point where I can have him on here as a guest, then you know what I'm saying. Then we could talk about that. But I would never talk about that man without giving him an opportunity to defend himself, because that's one of my legends. But yeah, it was a moment. Um, at number 4, they got UConn. Number 3, Houston. I love that program. Kelvin Sampson, what he did, how hard they play. I love that program. The defending national champion at number 2, Florida, and then number 1, Purdue. I can guarantee you Purdue will not win the national championship.
I've never heard that name on the men's side. Like I never heard where Purdue was dominant on the men's side. And again, I haven't been tapped into the men's side, but that's the first to me that they're even never won. They went on a run last year or something.
Yeah, I mean, Purdue's had some great players over time. They have a basketball tradition at Purdue on the men's side. Glenn Robinson, big dog, probably the best player to play at Purdue, come out of Purdue. But here recently, they've been able to recruit the 5 position. Zach Edey, who's in Memphis with Ja Morant, he played at Purdue. They have a big 7-foot 2 or 3 kid there now, and I'm sure they'll have 2 or 3 more of them there next year. They have some solid guards. They're a solid team. They're just not a national championship team. I don't know what. To me, they're just one of those programs that like a Gonzaga. It's a great program, but to win a national championship, I just don't see it happening for them.
Did Gonzaga ever win one? Because I remember when they was going on that run. Like I remember hearing that school and watching them play. Did they ever win a championship, Gonzaga?
No, it's been more than a run. I mean, it's been literally a 15 to 20-year window for Mark Few and the Gonzaga Bulldogs where they've been elite. I don't think you can consider them a mid-major, but their conference is a mid-major. They're not a mid-major. So they're a high major program that plays in a mid-major conference. And I mean, but Gonzaga, yeah, I just don't, it's not a national championship. I just don't see one coming there, especially now, because the rich are going to get richer in college basketball. Let's talk about the women's college game.
Hey, so we spoke about this a little bit earlier, Coach. How the women's side you can kind of always tell the top out of the elite. They always it's never really a mix up. Like on y'all side, I'm surprised to see a couple of names over there, but on the ladies side, coming in at number 10, North Carolina. Shout out to the Tar Heels. North Carolina State right behind them. Duke, number 8. Tennessee, number 7. Shout out to the coach that gave birth in season, came back to coach. That's some old. That's some hey to her. Hey to her. Number 6, Oklahoma. Number 5, LSU. Flage. I am extremely excited to see with Flage and I call it Yaki. What's my youngin? Falasia Mawali. I'm extremely excited to see what they're going to do at LSU this year. Texas. I'm sorry.
Do you think it can work?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. They hoopers. It better work. They hoopers. I hope that Moki doesn't blow it.
Wait a minute. So you blaming Dawn for how things went in South Carolina?
Hell no. Hell no. She should still be at South Carolina. She should have never left South Carolina. She should still be there, in my opinion.
Will it work? You said absolutely. But how do we know that?
I'm saying because they're hoopers. I'm saying that, and like Dawn said in her interview, Kim is now getting the best of she getting the best of Yak. She getting the best of her. Everything Dawn has molded in her to her the last 2 years, she was extremely rough around the edges when Dawn got her. She needed to be with Dawn because Dawn understands her. Dawn was a rough around the edge kid from Philadelphia. So now she's getting the best. She getting the kid that come to the gym and be there early. She getting the kid that know what work ethic means. She getting the kid that understand but you got to be in the classroom. She already getting the best of what she got because she already come on.
See, that's based off of assumption, and that's based off of Coach Staley wanting the best for her. But that's not necessarily it's not a foregone conclusion that is the truth, right? Because what happens if she goes there and she hits adversity and she does the same thing that she did in South Carolina? What happens then? So that's why I ask, can it work? Because to me, it seems like you have a young lady that does not want to be coached. It seems to me that you kind of have a young lady that might not be okay with not being the star. So you're going to LSU where there are talented young ladies there as well. So what if it doesn't work? What if she comes in there and I'm just playing devil's advocate. Of course, I want her to go in there and ball out. Like you said, I never wanted her to leave South Carolina, right? But now that she's at LSU, another respectable program, what if it's the same?
I feel like now, in my opinion, some of her, what I'm trying to say, D, her beef maybe was that her playing time and how it had to adjust. And maybe she felt like that she wasn't playing enough, or I feel like that probably was a huge reason why she left. Like she wasn't getting enough burn. Like coach probably didn't believe in her. And this is my own personal, not knowing nothing about the situation. I don't know nothing about it in real life. But she does not have that. That's not an issue for her now. She's gonna get burned at LSU. She was gonna get burned this year as she was gonna be the starting guard, and she just wasn't patient. She just wasn't. She couldn't see the vision. She couldn't see it all the way through. And maybe the transfer portal might be. This is where that's an issue with the transfer, because when we was playing, we had to second guess about getting out of there because we would have had to sit out a year. We didn't want to waste that year. So now with the transfer portal, and kids could just get up and go whatever they like. And then two, I had a granny that told me to sit my ass down and listen to my coaches. You not transferring. You not like sit down, like see this thing through. Like I had a granny that did that. Not, and I'm not saying that like her people, whatever. I don't know, and I got to be clear with that because I'm so close to the basketball world. I don't want anybody to interpret that I know some behind the scenes shit and I don't know nothing.
Right.
All this is alleged. Don't come from mid-major mindset. But this is just what I'm saying. Maybe that even maybe her mom just wasn't even patient with that. Like her mom's not an older woman. Like my granny was an old ass lady. Sit your ass down and get that good old scholarship that they give
what
her.
I'm saying, that this is my point. What if she goes to LSU and things don't go as well as she wants? I'm more interested in seeing how, like, not that I don't want things to go bad for her, but that's what I'm going to be. When things don't go her way, how is she going to react? Because again, we're talking about at South Carolina. That's all we're talking about. Things did not go her way. And it was, I'm out of here, I'm leaving. But what if she goes to LSU and it's the same thing? It's not necessarily about her talent level. Maybe she can't run offense. Maybe she has no desire to run a system, right? Maybe when things, for what I saw from her when she was in the game and South Carolina went down, she would try to play hero ball. What if she tries to do that same thing in LSU at LSU? All right. So that's all I'm saying. We definitely want her to, and again, I'm figuring this media thing out, right? This is the angles we got to take. These are the things we got to look at. So I'm just, what if that's the case? With a lot of these kids, that is the case. Like you mentioned, she don't have that granny in her corner. And again, I don't know her mom at all. I haven't paid attention enough to see her mom or in the limelight or anything like that. But if these things are issues, they could rear their head again.
That's a full fact, coach. Y'all, I live in a van. I don't know what's going on outside my surroundings, but it's something going on out there. So I apologize, y'all.
Okay. LSU is number 5. You got to round out your top 4 in the women's too early to call it rankings.
Yes. LSU is number five, 5. Texas number 4. The big girl in Texas. I'm excited to see She's coming back next year.
Mm-hmm.
LSU, UCLA, who I wanted. I probably anyway. I'm not about to go down that road again. UCLA at number 3. I'm surprised. Whoa! I didn't just notice that UConn at number 2.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina at number 1. Where
Yep.
the hell did they put Juju? Juju not in the top 10.
USC's not in the top 10. They don't
What
know when
the
Juju's
hell?
gonna be back. They
Maybe
don't
because
know.
Juju's still gonna be hurt
Yeah,
coming
they
into
don't know
that
when he's back.
season.
Absolutely.
True.
And UCLA has a young lady that could be a potential number 1 pick. 6'5", center. Last name is Betts.
Yes, that's the center. That's her sister is Lauren Betts. I can't
Okay.
remember the younger sister's name, but she's been with that. But UCLA, I'm surprised they put there because UCLA entire freshman class transferred out. Like,
They
how
still
they
got her.
how huh?
They still have her. They still have.
True, 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 true.
They still have her. So nah, exciting. Like I said last year, the WNBA. I mean, not the WNBA, the college tournament. Well, yeah, the college tournament and WNBA. I watched more women's ball than I did men's ball last year. And the women's season always seems to be a little bit more exciting, and there's a little bit more star power as of late. So I'm really interested to see the start of the season and how much more
You
movement
said
we'll have.
star power as of late. Cheryl Miller. Oh, as of
Stop
late.
it! Stop it! Where was, like, you can't do that. Like, that makes no sense to even bring that up. Cheryl
No,
Miller.
you
What
said
league
as
was
of
Cheryl Miller
late.
going to play in? As of late, yes. Cheryl Miller is how long ago? Like, we can't ignore the star power of the players that have come into the WNBA over the last few years.
I get that completely.
Okay, so
In my
don't
head, I
I'm
instantly
saying
went. This is
something
where I went
crazy.
in my head. I
Yeah.
instantly went that it was because I'm always on defense. Don't judge me, y'all. I was in a post, so I was protecting the paint. Don't judge my life because this is how I think. In my head, when I heard as of late, it was instantly dag. They forgetting about everybody else that was hooping NCAA for the women back in, like, we often speak about like an ODU, Cheryl Swoops back in the day. Like, so in my head, that's where I went. Not to say that's what you were putting out there displaying, but in my head, like, nah, women, we've been hooping. It's there. My bad, coach.
Who said you weren't, right? Like I gotta take the brunt of all the men in the world, and here I am telling you that I like the game, I coach the game, and you still come at me. No, I ain't saying nothing about the past. I'm just saying as of late, the star power coming out of women's basketball is bigger than it's been over the few years, right? For
That's
example,
the fact.
Jaquel Jones, when she was coming out of GW, if you weren't a fan of women's basketball, you missed it. You missed what she did, right, in college. And You missed all of that. But even if you're not a fan of women's basketball today, you probably know who Caitlin Clark is. You probably know who Angel Reese is. You probably know who Sabrina Ionescu is, right? Like, probably. I apologize. I still didn't say the name right, but I got closer. You feel what I'm saying?
Hey,
That's all.
the city call her UNESCO. UNESCO.
Absolutely. Great college basketball segment there. Real quick, because we got to get ready to cut this because we got places to be. The NFL season is not that far away. July 31st will be the first preseason game, week 1 of the preseason. So NFL football is not that far away. I'm a college football fan, so I got a little bit longer to wait. August we start. And that'll be a whole nother thing. But yeah, there's only one game, week 1 of preseason. That'll be the San Diego. Nope, sorry. Wow. Not San Diego, showing my age. The Los Angeles Chargers will be playing at the Detroit Lions. The Lions both of those teams had really good seasons. The NFL is one of the sports organizations that has mastered the season never really ending. And for me, it's like overload because I'm not a huge NFL fan. I'm trying to get back into it, but for certain reasons, I'm not a huge NFL fan. But I am trying to get excited about this season. And
I'm excited this season, Coach. I'm gonna be 100% why I'm excited. Travis Hunter, Shador. I'm more excited to Shiloh because I love Shiloh. It's a clip. Shiloh was like, "Dag, yo, they treating you like that. How you think they're gonna treat me?" Talk about
no, I ain't getting drafted.
I love Shiloh. That's why I'm really, really excited to see what those young men are going to do this season. I'm excited to see the content that Well Off Media and their platforms are going to give us from the NFL side. If you're not following them on YouTube, go check them out because they've been giving us great content over there. Well Off Media, that's Bucky Sanders, the eldest son content, and just everybody been doing it. That's what they've been inspiring me to push my content pen. I gotta push this shit. This stuff, Coach. I gotta push this, Coach. I gotta get it, man. Let's go. Thank you, Coach. I'm a run though, but thank y'all, Major Mindset, Coach. I'm gonna let you wrap that out.
Absolutely, y'all. That's our show for today. Again, we coming to you at a different hour. We're probably going to be even earlier moving forward. Again, this is Mid-Major Mindset. That was my girl, Jada J. She had to dip out real quick. I'm your boy, Pinnock, a.k.a. Coach JR. Look forward to Coach JR's Corner coming shortly. I'm going to be interviewing my partner, Anthony Morrow, former NBA player with Oklahoma City Thunder, Portland Trailblazers, Dallas Mavericks, former Georgia Tech star. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that. That'll be coming later on this week, man. Follow us everywhere you know to follow us. We on social media. We on YouTube. I'm at JR, at Coach JR 224, and at Pinnock 24. All right. Hey, we holler at y'all next time. We out. What's happening? It's your boy Pinnock. Want to put you on something new. Mid-Major Mindset, a new podcast hosted by Jada J and myself. We'll be discussing the world of sports, trending topics, adulthood, hell, life, with the hint of that mid-major mindset.
Yo, Coach, you giving him too much. He got to be political and me, I got fired a few times. I don't got to do but stay black and die.
That's Jada J, man. She'll do that from time to time.
Anyway, y'all might as well come listen and see what we talking about. Especially from two athletes. Like, nah, we real life bitches. Like, nah, in real life, dead ass. Like,
join us live every Monday through Friday.
Come check us out because y'all know we also talking WNBA. We talking hella women's sports. If y'all ain't know that, y'all know now. Don't Judge My Life Media presents Mid-Major Mindset. WNBA, could y'all give me my WNBA passes? Media passes, please. Could I get back on y'all media? Featuring two former A10 athletes. Coach D, Pinnock, George Washington standout, NBA draft pick. Could y'all bless us? Like, stop playing. Fordham, could we get some?
And Jada
grant
J,
money, some alumni,
former Fordham University
being that the
women's
alumni is our
basketball and
president,
FIBA
Ramley,
athlete.
go Ramley, hey.
Subscribe
Hey,
everywhere
hey,
at
guys,
Mid
hey.
Major Mindset. I'm saying we ain't getting no NIL money. I'm just saying.